Good day everyone, I'm Rachel C. Dayag and today I'm going to discuss the third topic of the first and second language acquisition process, which is creative construction and interlanguage. So let us discuss first what is creative construction. It is based on the assumption that language acquisition is innately determined and that we are born with certain system of language. As learners are exposed to input, whether it be via reading or listening, they begin to form mental representations of the language and its structure. These structures are eventually solidified in fluent speech. So, the native language or the first language of a learner does not have much influence in the acquisition of another language or the second language because every learner constantly creates hypotheses about the patterns of language which he or she is learning. These hypotheses are based in input from the target language or the second language. So, one example of creative construction is the monitor model by the most influential scholar, Stephen Krashen, which was already discussed. It focuses on learners which construct internal representations of language being learned, which has two separate mental processes, the conscious learning and the subconscious learning. So that's it for the creative construction. Let's move on to the next, the interlanguage. So, interlanguage was first coined and developed in the interlanguage theory under the authorship of Larry Selenker on 1972. He defined interlanguage as the separate linguistic system evidenced when adult second language learners spontaneously express meaning using a language they are in the process of learning. So, interlanguage simply describes the language learner's journey from his first language or native language to acquisition of the target language or the second language. Learning second language is a gradual process from first language and second language. And at every stage of learning, learners have rules to grammar which are not yet perfect. These rules are not rules in the first language nor the second language. These rules are something in between the first language and the second language because interlanguage serves as the bridge between the first language and the second language. It is when learners lack knowledge and find mastery of rules. The learner creates a structured system of language at any stage in his or her development. Each system is gradually revised. It evolves. The rules become more and more complex. It means that learners travels along the interlanguage continuum towards second language. Interlanguage gradually improves as it gets nearer to the second language set of rules. So, after understanding what is interlanguage, let us proceed to the stages of interlanguage development. First is random errors. In this stage, learners are vaguely aware there might be some system, but has a little idea about it. And the next stage is emergent state, which in this stage, learners has begun to identify a system plus internalize the rules. So in the first stage, random errors, the learners just got a little idea about the system. In the emergent state, the learners already identify a system and the learners also internalize the rules. So at this stage, we got a lot of backsliding. Yeah, they seem to have got a rule, then forget about it after. So here in emergent state, can't self-correct often happens. Yes. So the third stage is systematic stage. In this stage, the learners have stronger system of rules. Plus, it gets nearer to the second language. Here, more mistakes than actual errors. Okay. Next is the stabilization stage. Here, there are few errors, mostly just mistakes of anything. But there's some problem in this stage, the fossilization, which will be discussed after this. Next to discuss is the cognitive processes of interlanguage. There are 5 processes. Let us start with the language transfer. Here, learners fall back to their native language to help create their language system. Second is the transfer training, which learners explore how an individual would transfer learning in one context to another context. Third process is the learning strategies. It would be strategies which learners use when learning a second language. The fourth is the communicative strategies. Here there are strategies which learners use to help to convey a meaning. And lastly is the overgeneralization of second language material. Here, learners use rules from second language in a way that native speakers would not. So to sum up everything, from creative construction, it is a theory says we are born with certain system of language. It explains the ways and conditions in learning a language from the first language to the second language. Next is the interlanguage. It is the process or it describes the journey. It is the bridge from learning first language to the second language. It has 4 development stages: random errors, emergent state, systematic stage, and stabilization stage. It also have 5 cognitive processes. First is the language transfer, transfer training, learning strategies, communicative strategies, and overgeneralization of second language material. So all in all, over time, learners progress. They refine certain rules and obtain new ones.